Ever feel like you're doing all of the right things, saving, working hard, cutting back, but somehow owning a home still feels like a far off dream? I get it. Today, I'm going to share a complete roadmap that makes home ownership achievable, even if you're on a tight budget and if you're making $20 an hour. Imagine not just a place to live, but a place that's truly yours. Stay tuned because we're breaking this down step by step. This video will cover the essentials to help you build out your plan. Budgeting, smart saving, understanding credit, and leveraging programs that are available to you. This is everything you need to build a clear action plan to make home ownership a reality. By the end of this video, the next steps should be clear. If you are in the greater Moncton area and you want to explore housing options that are in your budget, you can head down to the first link in the description and book a call with me. First things first, mindset. If you want to buy a home, you need to think like a homeowner. This is a long-term commitment that requires discipline and resilience. Sometimes people believe that if they earn more money, they'll save more money. But the truth is, saving is more about habits, not necessarily income. It's about consistently setting aside money and sticking to a budget that's aligned with your goal. I'm making this video because people often comment that they can't buy a house, which I don't think is true, but they might just rather complain in the comments. So if buying a home is important to you, listen carefully and let's build your plan. Oh, I should let you in on the secret now, but this plan that I'm about to share is the same plan that people use to get wealthy. The millionaires next door, the ones who quietly build wealth, often have modest incomes, but a disciplined approach to spending. Think about that. Wealth building isn't about how much you make, it's about what you do with what you have. You don't need a huge income to buy a home, you need a plan and a commitment, and you need to stick to it. I'm going to use figures that apply to my market in New Brunswick, and you can scale these to where you live. If you don't have any housing options in your area that is close to this price point, you might want to consider making a move if making more money is not an option. Before you start saving for your down payment, you will want to build an emergency fund. Why? Because unexpected costs can throw your savings plan off course if you're not prepared. Also, this will be a small practice run to get you ready to make changes to start to save. Ideally, aim to save at least 2 to 3 months worth of essential expenses, which could be your rent, groceries, and utilities. This fund is your safety net, allowing you to keep saving for your down payment even if life throws you a curveball. Let me explain in more detail. Let's break down your savings. Say you're earning $20 an hour working full time. That's around $3,200 before tax, leaving you with about $2,400 to $2,500 after taxes. If you're saving around $300 to $400 a month, that's roughly $3,600 to $4,800 per year. Now, let's set a realistic down payment goal. A $250,000 home with a 5% down payment means you're saving $12,500. While if you aim for 10%, that's closer to $25,000. Setting a timeline helps you keep motivated. Say saving $20,000 over 5 years. That's around $333 a month. It's manageable, but it will take effort, which is why setting a clear timeline and realistic goals is so important. You'll want to track your progress and celebrate those small wins. And remember that each dollar saved is a step closer to your goal. Okay, so how the heck do we set this up? To reach your goal faster, let's get clear on what is essential versus what is extra. Essentials are rent, food, transportation, utilities, the things that keep your life running smoothly. Wants are those extras that make life a little more enjoyable, like dining out or entertainment or impulse purchases at the dollar store. This will be one of the hardest parts of the process, so let's dive in a little bit deeper. To get an honest look at where your monthly money is going, let's start by looking at your spending history. This part is going to suck, but it's one of the most important hurdles to overcome. Pull out the last 3 months of your bank statements and a pen and paper. Go line by line and circle the numbers that are needs and leave the wants blank for now. I get it. This can be very, very upsetting, but it will help you so much in getting clear on your goal. Again, the needs are the essentials, the expenses that are non negotiable. Your housing costs like rent or your groceries and utilities, your family's basic needs, transportation costs and car payments and gas, or public transport, or if you're paying extra medical expenses or things that really help move your family's needs forward, like daycare or the school supplies, or putting some money aside for clothes. On the other hand, wants are all the extras, the spending that does make life a little bit more enjoyable, but it isn't essential for you to reach your goals. And it could include food delivery services, coffee runs, or eating out at restaurants. I know one thing that gets me are streaming services and various monthly memberships. They can add up, or even impulse buys when you're at places like the dollar store. All right, this one might get some angry comments, but things like alcohol, you don't need to buy a round of drinks for all of your friends. You might want to consider cutting back, maybe doing those things at home, or not at all for a little while, because those can add up very quickly. But for example, you might notice that you're dining out once a week and you're spending $50 each time. That adds up to around $200 per month or $2,400 per year. Imagine if you cut that back to once a month. That's $150 saved monthly or $1,800 saved annually. That's money that could go directly into your home savings fund. Now, I totally understand that you want to live your life, but we are just looking at the big picture to see where the money is going and how some small changes could be made. Okay, so on a blank piece of paper, draw 3 columns and write down in each column the monthly numbers that would be considered needs. At the end, now go down each column, add them up, and put a total at the bottom. So you should have 3 totals along the page. Those 3 total numbers, you will want to add them together and then divide by 3. This is the average monthly essentials that you need to account for. Now, subtract your monthly take home income from this average. This number should be positive. From here, you should be able to allocate $300 to $400 per month in your down payment savings account. If this number is negative, you might need to revisit the needs versus wants. If you do need some extra help in understanding this, you can always book a meeting with a financial advisor at your bank to review this information in more detail. The purpose of this exercise is to give you a jumping off point of how to start. It's a question that I get all the time. Going through these steps will give you some clarity on how to build your plan and take the next step. But your bank might be able to give you some specific feedback about your unique situation. Oh, and just to loop back to some of the wants, you're not giving these up. I know that they're enjoyable. You're simply being more intentional about where and how much you spend this money on. Here's how to think about it. Set a monthly allowance for wants. Decide how much you're comfortable with spending and allocate that amount for dining out or entertainment or some of these extra. And when it's gone, it's gone. Or, for example, instead of dining out, you could try planning a fun meal at your home or swap a streaming subscription occasionally. Instead of having several running at once, just use one at a time. And one of my favorites is the practice and pause. If you find yourself making impulse purchases, try to wait 24 hours before buying. Often you'll find the initial urge will fade and you won't actually buy it. This journey is not about restriction, it is about balance, and it might take some time to get in the groove, but consciously choosing to prioritize your home future, you're aligning your daily decisions with your long-term goal. You do not have to eliminate everything you enjoy. You just need to make choices that allow you to still enjoy life while keeping your primary objective in focus. Each small change will build momentum. The more intentional you are about distinguishing your needs from your wants, the closer you get to making home ownership a reality. And as your savings grow, you will find that each little adjustment will bring you closer within reach, $1 at a time. Now, automate your down payment savings. Set up an automatic transfer to a separate home savings account every single payday. This way, you're paying yourself first. It's easy to say that you'll save every month, but without automation, the other expenses will creep in. Automating this amount ensures your savings plan is prioritized before any wants based spending. Here's a pro tip, and it's an awesome one to consider. Canada offers several great programs for first time home buyers. Based on the time of recording this video, you may want to check with your bank, but the First Home Savings Account has been a popular one, and it could allow you to contribute up to $40,000 tax free and receive some additional tax credits. Then there's the First Home Buyers Plan, which allows you to borrow up to $35,000 from your RRSP. You do have to pay it back. And this one is super cool because your employer might already be giving you some contributions. So you could already have money set aside that maybe you're not aware about, and it can help speed up your savings. These programs are designed to make saving easier. They're always being updated, so be sure to check with your bank for what options exist. All right, credit is critical for getting a mortgage. A score of 650 or higher will generally help you qualify for favorable mortgage terms. How do you get good credit? Well, you want to start by paying your bills on time, and you want to keep your credit card balances low and avoid carrying a balance month to month. If you are using your credit card for any auto payments, make sure that you pay your credit card in full every single month. Building good credit does not happen overnight, but small, consistent actions will build a solid foundation over time. Now, let's look at why home ownership is worth it. When you buy a home, you start building equity, which is the portion of the home that you actually own. As you pay down your mortgage, your property appreciates and your equity grows. Equity can be used later to upgrade to a larger home or even invest in additional properties. Imagine this: you purchase a home for $250,000 with 5% down. That means that you put about $12,500 of money up front to finance the remaining $237,500 through a mortgage. Each month, part of your mortgage payment goes towards the principal balance, the amount that you borrowed, and part goes towards interest. In the beginning, most of your payment actually just goes to interest, but over time, as you pay down your mortgage, the principal balance decreases. Let's say after 10 years of regular mortgage payments, you've paid down $37,500 of the original $237,000 loan. This means you now own $50,000 of the home's value, your original $12,500 down payment, plus the $37,500 that you paid down over 10 years. Now, let's factor in appreciation, which could be either natural based on the market or forced for renovations that you do to raise your home's value. In many areas, a modest appreciation is about 3 to 5% per year, although it can vary based on location and it's not guaranteed. At a 3% annual appreciation rate, after 10 years, your home's value grows to approximately $335,000. At a 5% annual appreciation rate, after 10 years, your home's value grows to about $407,000. Equity is the difference between your home's market value and what you owe on your mortgage. By combining the amount that you've paid down on the mortgage and the appreciation in your home's value, let's look at how much equity you could have. At 3% appreciation, your home value after 10 years is about $335,000. Your remaining mortgage balance is $200,000. Your original loan minus the $37,500 paid down. So that's $335,000 minus $200,000, which gives you $135,000. Looking at 5% appreciation over 10 years, you have about $207,000 of equity. Isn't that crazy? Are you still wondering why this matters? This equity represents your wealth growing over time. If you decide to sell your home in 10 years, the equity you've built becomes your cash in your pocket, which you could use as a down payment on a new property or to invest in other opportunities. By consistently paying down your mortgage and benefiting from appreciation, your home becomes a financial ladder, one that lets you climb towards long-term security. Once you're a homeowner, there are ongoing costs to plan for. like mortgage payments, property taxes, insurance, and maintenance. For a modest home, you can expect these costs to be around $1,700 to about $2,100 a month. So, setting up a budget that accounts for these costs ensure that you're not caught off guard. And let's be real, home ownership brings freedom, but with it also comes a lot of responsibility. Budgeting for these costs now means that you'll enjoy your home without unexpected financial strain. And let's be honest, if you can go through the process of saving for a down payment, you should be able to carry on with this budgeting process. So, homeownership doesn't end with the purchase, it's actually just the beginning. Small upgrades can significantly boost your home's value. Kitchens and bathrooms are often the big ones, but don't overlook energy efficient upgrades like better insulation or heating upgrades. Even simple projects like landscaping or adding usable space can increase your home's appeal and value. When we added a ductless mini split in our home, we did it for the heating efficiency, but we fell in love with the AC. It was a small improvement, but it had a huge payoff. And you can always check with your realtor about trends that could impact your home's value if you are considering a renovation. The right updates make your home more enjoyable and could mean a higher sale price down the road. And there you have it. I've outlined the entire roadmap of turning your dream of owning a home into a reality, even on a tight budget. Remember, it's not just about the steps you take, it's about taking the right steps in the right order. If you're in the greater Moncton area and you want to explore housing options that fit your budget, let's talk. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.